Talk 7. My words are from heaven. We will consider together the value of the Scriptures. The Scriptures is a statement of law, of that which is in the realm of heaven, as well as that which is in the realm of earth. The words written in the many books are words of inspiration by the prophets of the Israelites. These prophets were inspired men. They had had a very deep study of all things spiritual. They had the power to bring into operation, through inspiration, knowledge from the spiritual source awaiting expression. Most of the prophets were born for the purpose, and all through the Bible you will read of peculiar things that happened to many of them. Although the words were inspired, nevertheless they were written by men. Inspiration is a power that comes from the Spirit, and as it expresses itself through its channel, it is often molded according to the particular nature of the instrument. There is a pure form of inspiration that comes from the spiritual source, such as what is happening at this moment, when the consciousness of the spiritual power dwelling in the inner realm is manifesting through the inner consciousness of the instrument that is used. In some cases, this was used by those prophets which you read of in the Bible. We call it a book of inspiration, and this is the secret of its great value in the world. The soul is always looking for the source of its being, and this desire leads one to the truth through inspiration. No call goes out from any soul that is not answered from the spiritual realm. You are all eternally linked into the great Almighty Father. There is no distance between you and the Father, neither is there any distance between you and me. There is no division anywhere. Division and separation are but a concept of ignorance born in the mind of man. In reality, there is no separation. There is no separation between the Spirit of God in each and every one of you, and the Spirit that is in me. And that Spirit is the Spirit of the Father speaking to you. The Spirit alone has voice. Books, words, letters are all of no value of themselves. They have value only when the Spirit uses words as a means of connecting thought to the invisible, thus piercing through the realm of the senses. Thus the Word is but the outer shell hiding the pearl of great price, which you find within. When you take a word in your own mind and say, for instance, the words, I am the life, these are words expressed through the mortal sense. Yet these words can be risen to the spiritual state, which is eternal and ever-present. Thus, in reading the Bible, which you call holy, you will be able to use the words and raise them. Although seen through mortal eyes, read through mortal mind, yet by the power of the Spirit that is inherent in you, you will raise them to a spiritual level beyond mortal comprehension. The Scriptures have been written through inspiration by guidance of the Spirit for the purpose of instruction in the law of life and for the right use of the law. Therefore I did not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill the law, to make life full, to show it manifesting in the human flesh, to prove that the Christ could manifest in the flesh the glory of the infinite Father, who was living in and expressing himself through the Son. The Father, who had life in himself, expressed that same life through the Son. Therefore the Son expresses the life, the will of the Father. My word is quick and powerful, yet it is sweeter than honey. The word the Father gives me is the living word of his love, beyond comprehension, and his word is a living power, for his love is always present. When any one of you can feel the power of the Spirit and recognize it completely, and by it speak, then the word you speak has power. All power has been given unto me in heaven and on earth. There are no creations hidden from his light, for all things are naked and open before his eyes. My words are from heaven, the inspiration of the one Spirit of God, pouring out the abundant wealth and wisdom of God. It is through these words that you also can be inspired, because my words are from heaven, from the inner, the highest consciousness, that realm which the outer never touches. But that realm can express itself outwardly through the outer, then the outer becomes as the inner. These words are being recorded and transcribed for you. so that in your quiet moment you will be able to absorb them, meditate upon them, and thereby make them your own. And by raising them beyond the mortal sense, you gain a power and understanding you did not possess before. Inspiration is possible to all. Even now you are being inspired to understand the hidden mysteries of life through my words. Therefore my words become the vehicle through which you learn of the great and glorious truth hidden within you. The miracle of the spoken word is the genius of God, who speaks the language of time through mortal sense, yet makes it eternal and spiritual. It is the Father who speaketh in me. It is the Father who speaketh through mortal sense, through mortal flesh, making these words an eternal and ever-present reality. Those who are now in the realm of the inner, who have already passed from the mortal flesh, still alive, they also hear my words and are inspired by them. Every one of you can now enter into the higher realms of consciousness beyond mortal sense through understanding. When I took the word bread, I gave it a holy and spiritual meaning to convey the truth of the spiritual nourishment that shall sustain you in everything. At all times learn to bring the light of reality and truth into limitation, chaos and darkness, and these shall disappear. Your creative power is the consciousness of the Christ in you, and through this consciousness the Christ shall manifest through you to make all things anew. To comprehend my words, you must raise your consciousness beyond your mortal sense, into the realm of spirit. Then you'll understand my words, for they live beyond the mortal sense. You will know the Christ to be the only eternal Son of God. The Spirit that gives you life, the Spirit that liveth in you, is the Spirit that speaketh in me, for the Spirit alone has the power to speak. The consciousness of this Christ is the power in all creation, and the more consciousness you are of it, so shall it manifest all the more greatly in your own lives. You thus produce in the outer by the Spirit of the Father. There is no other source of power in the universe. As I have told you, there is no division anywhere. God is not divided, neither has he divided himself, but in him, by him, and with him, everything that is made is made. Words are but symbols of communication. But when the Spirit of the Father comes into the outer, there are no words to explain this great illumination. When the outer consciousness becomes aware of the Father, the realm of God will manifest in the outer. It was this that filled my own consciousness when I spoke the Word, and the Word was made manifest. Thus it is the same with you, if you will but believe. Raise your consciousness above the mortal sense into the spiritual state by understanding, and there receive the power of the Father through your own consciousness, revealing the mighty power that reigns forever. Have I not proved that the Son of God has all power in heaven and on earth? This same Spirit that raised me from the dead dwelleth within you also, and will raise you as it did me. This will be your experience as it was mine, and for this I have come to help you. The words I speak and the thoughts of my heart please the Father in regard to you, that you may become the highest expression of my Father, moving through all life, radiating light, manifesting a deep innermost peace, thereby unconsciously manifesting divinity. And this inward peace is a recognition of great humility. Yet this humility, in its magnificence, is, I of my own self can do nothing. It is the Father who ever remaineth within me, he doeth the work. In this way you unconsciously express divinity, wherever you move, whatever you say, and whatever you do. You will be expressing divinity unconsciously, so that others are helped by your words and actions. This light cannot be hid, for love and wisdom are conveyed in every gesture and every spoken word. Thus you become an inspired soul. The real value of the words of the Scripture is to open your understanding to the gifts of God, and thus are bestowed upon you according to your unfoldment. The word believe has been wrongly interpreted in the Scriptures. The word believe means a deep knowing, and it is this deep knowing that gives understanding. And as understanding becomes deeper, you become more conscious of the Father who will work through you. Unfold naturally the gifts He has bestowed upon you. They are awaiting your recognition now. Inspiration enables you to unfold your divine gifts. The inspired writings of the Scriptures have been placed above all books, and millions have been inspired and raised by the word of truth. This is the law of transmutation working in you, and through my words to you, you transmute the lower into the higher. Think what happens to you during my talks with you. Every experience in your life is lifted into the highest and thereby purified. When I speak to you, everything that has happened in your lives is raised to that state where it is purified. All the dross is dissolved away because the Spirit alone retaineth the essence. The perfect creative force, the Spirit of God, creates its own eternal substance wherein there is no division. Spirit is consciousness, and consciousness acts on this substance by means of its intelligent action. The consciousness and the intelligence of God manifest through all life. In this inseparable, in this indivisible mind of God, all things are created and nothing is apart from Him. Therefore, in truth, in reality, all is perfect. As these words of mine raise you to the state of understanding, so every experience of your life is raised up by that understanding. This key I will put into your hand. Seek the Spirit, not the letter. As you wait, I will unfold the truth in you. The Christ is the conqueror in all things, for the Christ is the Spirit of God individualized in you. Seek the Spirit behind the Word, and it will manifest in your life. When you read the Scriptures or any inspired work, and especially those words that I have given for the purpose of your meditation, seek the Spirit behind the Word. It is not the letter or the word that you must seek, but wait upon it, think deeply, and I will inspire you. I will express the truth of it in you. In this way you shall make it your own, and only in this way can the truth be revealed to you. It must come from within and not from without. These words will raise your consciousness into that realm of spirit where all is understood. It is written in the Scriptures that the Spirit of God descendeth like a dove and spoke these words, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." Direct voice has often been heard from the unseen, and this was not unknown amongst those who understood the law in my time on earth. It was used even more than now. Many of you, I know, are not yet familiar with the direct voice from heaven. It is only in that particular quietude of the mind, where there is silence, that it is heard, and this is most effectively obtained in the Himalayas of the mind. This same Spirit which manifested then is manifesting now in your midst, and this same Spirit will minister unto you if you will but believe it. Do you understand what I mean now? That the power of my thought moving in your consciousness reveals the truth. Truly I tell you that the last moment is the greatest when sustained by faith, for in it is seen the glorious power of the Spirit. It was in this last moment that Peter failed to sustain himself on the waves. This story has been written in many languages and in many ways, the true facts being as follows. The power to walk upon the water is inherent in all of you, had the understanding and faith to accomplish it. When you try to swim, at first you lose your faith and you begin to flounder. As you become more confident in yourself, you are able to sustain yourself on the surface of the water. It requires a greater amount of faith and understanding to walk upon the water, yet this is possible. It was John who first noticed my form walking on the waves. The impetuous Peter, standing in their midst, exclaimed, my Lord, if this truly be you, bid me come to you on the waves. And I bade him come. When Peter stepped upon the waves, they were as solid as a rock to him, and he walked. Peter at that moment was filled with the power of the Spirit. His desire was to walk on the waves and come to me and do exactly what I was doing. Impetuous Peter then walked upon the waves, but it was not long before he began to think that he had never done this before. It was something new, something strange to him. He walked until he thought within himself, what would happen if the waves were to break under him? He would sink. Then the waves did break, and he began to sink. Fear had overtaken him. I said to him, "O Peter, why did you doubt?" I want to ask you the same question. Why do you doubt? Then ask yourself this question. Why do you doubt when you understand now that the Spirit of God dwells in you, and that the Christ has all power in heaven and earth and has dominion over all things? Ask yourself again the question, why do you doubt? Is it lack of understanding? Or is it fear of something that is unfamiliar? That which you do not understand, you become afraid of. Thank thee, Father. Thou hast shown me that there is nothing unfamiliar between thee and me, for we are one. Is this not true also in your lives on earth? You do not understand the power of the Spirit. You are blinded by the fear of the unusual. The food that one eats to nourish the flesh soon passes away. You must seek the food that feeds the soul, and this is the bread from heaven. This is the Christ. I am the bread from heaven that God has given unto the world. Therefore you must eat of me. They say, eat this bread from heaven and drink from the spring of life, shall live forever, and shall be exalted to the throne of power. I am the bread from heaven, the bread of the Father who sent me. The Father is love and wisdom, and nothing is kept from me. I only ask, and he shows me, and what I see the Father do, I do likewise. Seek ye first the kingdom of God within, and the right use of that kingdom, and all else shall be added unto you. The beneficent law is ever operating in your lives, and you have power to help others. Only bring them into the light of your own consciousness, raised to the consciousness of the Christ. Every act of your life, every thought you should lift up into the light. Then there will come into your consciousness the realization of that kingdom within, where nothing from without can touch. When you stand in that kingdom, no matter what storms are raging in the outer, you are safe in the kingdom, for in it all power is given unto you. When you are in that state of peace, in the mind of God, then there is a creative principle that said, "Let there be light," and there was light. The same power is within you. With this awareness say, "Peace," and the storm shall abate. Say it with understanding. Say it with the power of the Spirit, with the understanding of the Christ. I am the life. My beloved Father and I are one. You will become one with me, no longer doubting. You will have begun to be even as your Father in heaven is. Be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. As the world unfolds the mysteries of life, so will I inspire men and women to do even greater things in your day. As the race unfolds, so shall further unfolding be expressed from the heart of life. There is a continual unfoldment of life. The race is moving forward, and the inner realms are becoming more unfolded in the outer. Truth is being revealed throughout the nations. Here and there groups are working, groups who have advanced that stage where they can understand the inner realm, enabling them through inspiration to understand the mysteries of life that are hidden within. The masses at present are taken up with division, but you will see that this division is born of ignorance. As I have said before, there are other flocks. I shall go and bring them, and they shall be one flock and one shepherd. I want you to open your minds free from division, with wider vision day after day, for greater things are coming. What you will learn now will reveal the old to you again, for I am pointing the way along which truth can be revealed to you. These instructions are leading you to the power of the Christ. To be born of the Spirit is to know and recognize the truth that you are born of the Spirit, that you are Spirit, and because you are Spirit now, so shall you always be Spirit, and is the Spirit of God that is born in you. This is the power hidden within, unless you are born from above. Truly I tell you, no one can see the realm of God unless he is born from above. For what is born of spirit is spirit. The inherent life is the real and only power. You enter into the highest riches through your realization of your oneness with me and the Father, as I am one with Him from the beginning. Perhaps it is difficult through your mortal senses to understand this, but I am the truth. And if you will open your mind, my telepathic thought will raise your consciousness into the realm of that which has no beginning. And that which had no beginning must exist eternally. Then the Spirit of God, the Spirit of the Father existing in you, is eternal and ever-present. When you recognize this truth, your vision expands. There is no longer any division. There is no longer any limitation. These limitations dissolve away and leave you complete and perfect in the mind of God as He holds you. The Father created you in His own image and likeness. The Christ within you is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Wait in silence that I may speak in you, write through you, my thoughts, my designs, my purpose expressed through you. Do not be carried away by different doctrines, but let my words linger in your soul until you feel the thrill of life, the upspringing of the eternal Son of God. If you live in separation from one another, you cannot live completely in the Father. You must see that there is no division. You must see that there is no separation anywhere. This is the almighty truth. This is the truth that gives me power in heaven and on earth, and it will give you the same. I am one with thee, loving Father, to know that I am thy Son, born of thee. Inherent within me thy wisdom, thy love and thy power. This inheritance thou hast given to me as thy beloved Son, with whom thou art well pleased. Be at peace, all those who carry burdens. Listen to me, my voice will lead you. My strength will support you, and my love will remain with you always. Then your light shall shine before the world, so that the world shall see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. I did not come to weaken the law of the prophets, for I am the fulfillment of the law. And not one jot or tittle shall pass from the law till all be fulfilled. For through me the law is made manifest in the world. I want you to think deeply on this. Lift it to the inner consciousness and there dwell upon it. Let the Spirit of Christ within you be your only guide. It is for this purpose that I have come, that you may know yourselves now. My love for you is very great. Therefore let my love live in you, for love is all power in heaven and on earth. It is the Spirit of God that dwelleth in me and speaketh for me. And I also speak for you. And whatsoever you ask remembering me, so shall I ask the Father, who shall give unto you whatever you ask remembering me. By remembering me you know the love of God, the wisdom of God and the power of God. And you know that this dwells within yourself, not as something relative apart from you, but a reality which is the real you. Remember me, and I shall come to you, and you shall know me. In no wise shall I turn my face from anyone, only be at peace and remember me. It is impossible for the mind of man to affect the Spirit in any way. Then always lean on the Spirit, for it is all power. The Christ of God is your only reality. My peace and my love I leave with you to remain with you. And so it is. Amen.